Living a high standard is not easy. Everybody can say that they want to live a high standard. Everybody can say that they have a high standard for themselves. But how many actually live into that standard? It's easy to say. Talk is one thing, but action is another thing. Living a high standard is expensive. You have to pay for it. You have to be willing to put in time, effort, delay gratification, delay the intermediate rewards. You have to be willing to go through criticism, loneliness. You have to pay a high cost. And the cost is so high that very few actually willing to do it. Because if it's easy, everybody would do it, right? We all want to live and keep high standards. But what does a high standard really mean to you? It's so cool when we tell author that man I want to keep high standards and that I don't settle. But at the same time, you do nothing about it. At the same time, you still keep working at the minimum job and do nothing to pursue your passion, to pursue your dreams. So that's when you have to ask yourself, do you really live into a high standard that you tell you want to? Mediocrity and misery are cheap. Anyone can afford it if they want to. Anyone can settle for less than what they want. But a true warrior will never settle for less than what he deserves. Anyone can almost get into a relationship with a nice girl, but not everyone is able to date a beautiful girl. It takes persistence and patience to work on yourself for a long time, to be single for a long time, because you're not willing to settle. Anyone can say and claim that they want to be an entrepreneur, but fuck, not everyone is willing and able to do it until what you so-called quote-unquote overnight success. They give up halfway through, and even worse, they give up after a short period of time. Everyone can say that they want to work out and become a healthier, but how many people actually do it consistently? It's easy to work out when you feel good, but what about when you don't feel good? Do you actually discipline yourself and actually do it because that's your standard? That's what you demand out of yourself. Everyone can sit at home and watch TV. Everyone can go out and drink all night long. But how many are actually willing to spend a weekend to work on the business, to work on themselves? It takes hard work and sacrifice. High standards are not free, are not cheap. It takes a lot of effort and time and commitment. So before you tell everybody else that, hey, I have high standards for myself, you need to think about, do you really? Do your action actually show that you live in a high standard life? It's easy to fucking say that you have high standards, but can you keep that promise to yourself? Anyone can say that they'll donate and give generously when they are rich or successful, right? I feel guilty of this too, because I am that guy. But how many actually give generously even during a hard time? And the same thing with high standards. How many can keep going and not settle when things get tough? It's easy when we feel so motivated to do anything. That's easy, that's no question. But can you still do it anyway? Can you still put in the work when you feel low? When you don't see any progress? When you don't see any intermediate results? We all need to stop tolerating mediocrity. Mediocrity is very cheap. It's a very low price. Anyone can afford it. We all want to do something different than anybody else. But wanting in itself is cheap. It's not enough. Our actions need to show something differently. We are surrounded with so many mediocre people, and it's very hard to keep high standards. That's why the people around you have huge influence in your life. Make sure that you only keep high standard friends, or If you don't have any, go alone. I know it's not easy and it's not fun to go by yourself. To keep putting in the work without any acknowledgement from anybody around you. When no one understands you, you must keep going anyway and never settle. You may doubt your path, but that's okay. Keep doing it. Keep that high standard. Don't change your goals or your dreams because of others people's opinions. When you raise your standards, you must fully believe it. Because if you don't really believe it, your subconscious mind will work against you. You won't go really far. And that's why most never get what they truly want. Because they say that they want to live a high standard life. But they don't really believe it at a subconscious level. They don't really believe themselves. They don't really believe in their high standard goals. And that's a big issue. You must fully believe it. Because believe it or not, life will test you. It's no question to see that do you actually want what you said you want. So when you set high standards, keep that promise to yourself. When things get bad, still keep that promise to yourself. When things don't go to the way you want, keep that promise to yourself. Fully believe it. You may not get what you want today, but that doesn't mean that you won't get what you want tomorrow. Believe in tomorrow. Believe in yourself fully. You are worthy of success. Living a high standard of life is honorable, but it comes with a high cost. This cost of admission has stopped many people from living their greatness. So are you willing to pay this premium price? I know most don't, but I believe you do. That's why you listen to this. I know you never want to settle. You never want to be like everybody else. I know deep down in your heart, you always want more out of life. You always want to make something different in this world. You always want to create an impact on other people. So put in the work and actually take action. Things only change when you take action, not when you say you want. I know greatness is expensive, but it will be worth every single penny. Living high standards is expensive. You have to pay the cost, but it makes you stand out from the crowd. It makes you become a high value person, and it will be worth every single effort you put in. So don't give up. Don't settle. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Appreciate your reviews. And until next time, thank you.